Hello and welcome to my channel Malavika's Magic. Today I'll be sharing with you my views on the critical response to a text or evaluating the content of a text. So the roadmap of my presentation will be to evaluate the content of a text from three perspectives, that is the purpose, the theme and the style. So in today's video I'll be talking about the purpose. So the purpose means the writer's intention of writing or the writer's reason for writing. So in purpose, we need to understand the three main categories. That the writer's intention is to, first of all, it could be to inform, it could be to entertain, and it could be to persuade the readers to accept his viewpoint. So let us deal with these three main categories in detail. The first is informing the readers. The writer informs the readers by providing facts or giving factual statement. So factual statement can be given to the readers in the form of helping the readers identify the topic, and also the second could be the writer tries to compare the topic or the aspect with some other topic, and then the writer analyzes the topic. So this is the way the writer gives factual information. Let us deal with this three ways of factual information with the help of an example. So today I've taken the example of the bungalows. So when I write a concept of bungalows and I want to inform the readers about bungalows, I start with the first way of informing the readers, that is helping the readers identify the concept of bungalows. So I give the readers information about the origin of bungalows, where it originated, and I also say that it is universally acceptable, or universally the people prefer to live in bungalows. But originally the concept of bungalows was different, but the modern concept of bungalow is also different. And then I talk about a place like Mumbai, where the bungalows, they are the property prices have risen in Mumbai, and so there's a positive space, and therefore bungalows are rare to find in Mumbai. And therefore I try to say that people who desire to live in a bungalow in Mumbai, they have to shift to the outskirts of the city. Then I decide to help them understand, get more information about the bungalows. As a writer, I decide to use the comparative style, and in the comparative style I tend to compare the bungalows with the apartments, because that is what we find in Mumbai, people living in apartments, most of the people. And so therefore I talk about why do people prefer to live in apartments. That is because the facilities can be or the essential amenities can be found in the nearby the apartments. For example, you have the shopping mall, you have the medical center, you have the tuition center, you have the schools and the bus station and the railway station and so on near the apartments, which is not possible near the bungalows, because there is it might be if in the near the surrounding also you may not find these facilities. When you own a bungalow, you tend to live isolated from the other people, and so therefore people prefer to live in apartments. So when I use the comparative style, the readers will have a better understanding of the bungalows, and of course I'm providing this factual information to the readers, and so the readers are also they are convinced, or they are they prefer to read, they prefer to understand the concept better, because these are factual information. Now as a writer, I can use another way of imparting information to the readers, that is I can use the analytical method. In the analytical method, I have to objectively analyze the topic, or objectively analyze the concept of bungalows, and I can come up with arguments, and these arguments need to be supported with evidence, and after this I need to give a conclusion to this particular topic. So in this particular paragraph, when I've spoken about Mumbai, that there's positive space, so my argument could be that the space is less in Mumbai because there are many people in the country who prefer to shift to Mumbai for better job opportunities, and thus Mumbai has become an overcrowded place. And also that Mumbai has also they have also become more overcrowded and overpopulated, and so therefore there is no place. Also I can give another argument that this positive space is as a result of the housing sector not planning the way the houses should be built in a particular area, and that is why there's lack of space where it has become an unplanned city for as observed by most of the people. So when I'm coming forward with these arguments, I have to also give evidence towards these arguments, so that the readers, they accept my viewpoint. So these arguments and these evidences can be given in the form of, in the form of collecting data, or in the form of, the pie diagram or the graph or the bar chart. In this way I can give, evidences to the readers, and when I give these evidences to the readers are have a better understanding of the concept of bungalows. And then of course, as a writer, I have to conclude, my passage or my essay with my opinion, or rather with all the different perspectives that I have said, and try to summarize the different perspectives, and thus, the reader has a better understanding. Then the next point, where the writer can talk about his intention, is by entertaining the readers. This comes in the form of using a story, a novel, or any other creative piece of writing. Now, for example, in the story, the readers, it would appear that they are more interested in the story, they are more drawn to the story, or they're more engrossed in the story. But underlining the story, there is also a message from the writer. The writer's intention is clearly evident from the story itself, from the novel that we read, from any a fiction that we read. So this is done in a very pleasing manner, in a very creative manner. Now the third way of the writer trying to talk about his purpose is by persuading the readers. And so the writer wants to persuade the readers, so that the readers are convinced and they accept his viewpoint. And this can be done with the help of giving instructions or explanation and description. Now for instructions, we have the best example could be when we read a recipe book. In the recipe book, the instructions are given, for example, how to prepare a cake. So if I have to prepare a cake, I read the instructions and I follow the instructions strictly while preparing the cake. So in a way, I am convinced that the writer has written the instructions correctly, and so therefore I follow the instructions without further questioning. And then the writer can also explain a particular aspect, and then convince the readers to accept his viewpoint. The writer can also describe a particular aspect and convince the readers. In this way, the writer's purpose is determined, and this helps us to get a proper evaluation of the content of the text or the content of any piece of writing. So with this, I thank you all of you for your patient listening, and I hope you have understood the concept of purpose. And in the subsequent videos, I'll be dealing with the theme and style of writing, and so you will have a better understanding of evaluating the content. So I like to thank all of you. Thank you.